don't know too much about that, right? Okay, so that's why we out here, all right? So that was the first question. So you never seen us out here before? Have you ever got one of them flyers?
Yeah, I got one of these flyers.
Okay, so, all right, so, okay, so you never heard about this. Well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to show you what Christ looked like, right? But also in doing that, you must notice one thing. Christ, give me Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah 50 and 6. We're gonna show you who Christ is and what he looks like according to the Bible, okay? That's what you came up here for. Step a little closer, bro, so you ain't on the same. Step on the little tent, so you know.
I didn't come over here further and he stopped me.
Oh, praise. Well, I'm gonna show you real fast. All right, so read that. Jeremiah 56.
Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 6. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place.
Okay, so this is Jeremiah. God moved Jeremiah to write this. He said that my people have gone astray. They're lost sheep, all right? So understanding that, you heard that before, right? Who on this planet is a bunch of people that is lost? We don't know who we are and what's going on with us. We always into something. We're astonishment. Who would that be? It'll be us, right? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, right? Because wherever ghetto you go to across the world, who's side by side? We are, right? So, okay, so knowing that, let's get up Matthew 24, and then we're gonna go to Revelations, because we're gonna touch that question, bro. Because I just want you to make sure you understand that we read in the Bible, we're gonna show you what Christ looked like, but you also have to know who you are and how you pertain to that exact same question. Because in the church, they'll tell you it don't matter what he looked like. It don't matter where you come from. Does that make sense? You're born and raised right here in the hood, over here in the cliff, right? I'm Pleasant Grove, by way of South Dallas. So I ain't too far from my stomping ground, but I've been knowing what's been going on around this world all my life. But so I got to know what's going on. I didn't come up in Highland Park. Did you? Do this look like Highland Park? Plano, anything like that? All praises. Read that.
Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
To who?
The lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Listen to this, bro. You see this right here? These are the 12 tribes of Israel. Christ said, we were lost sheep in Jeremiah, right? And Christ just said, when he returns, he's only going to come back for the lost sheep, right? Because that's very prominent in what we're talking about, the lost sheep. We're people that's lost. We don't have no idea. We study Christianity like that's the religion. Christianity is not in his Bible. Christians, from the Old Testament to the New, none of the disciples or the prophets were Christians. You understand what I'm saying? They were Israelites. Christ is returning for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So the brother brought you over here so that you can understand that it's more than what they tell you. It don't matter what Christ looked like. It don't matter where you come from. That's very important. That's just the indoctrination of Christianity over here in America. Right. That was given to us. Religion. The Bible is not religion. You understand what I'm saying? The Bible is a heritage of the 12 tribes of Israel, going all the way back to Moses, okay? So every prophet that is in the Bible, make sure you understand me clearly, every prophet that is in the Bible, that was of the house of Israel. They were Israelites. You understand that? Real plain and simple. All right, let's get that Revelation. Let's get what Christ looked like, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you without a doubt why and how you know that we are the exact same people. Read that.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
Right. Revelation. Revelation, the root word of revelation means to reveal. So this is what we're about to get, the revelation of what Jesus Christ looked like.
Bring it out,
How you doing, big bro? Come on up, man. We finna find out what Jesus Christ looked like. Because you know you heard that before. It don't matter what he looked like, right? As long as I got him in my heart, right? I'm saved, sanctified by the blood, right? He rose on the third day. Shit, it's all over now. It's all over because he rose on the third day, right? So I can go commit sin after sin, sleep with somebody, rape somebody, but I'm gonna repent and I'm all right. I ain't gonna change how I conform to a new thinking. I'm gonna stay in that same sin. And whenever we brothers come out and try to tell you, hey, bro, don't do that. Hey, this is what sin is according to the Bible, not our opinion. We get lost in that thing. But now listen to this. We finna find out what Christ looked like, all right? That's the first thing we're gonna touch, all right? Read.
The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
Right. So this is John on the island of Patmos. An angel came to him to reveal what Jesus Christ was going to look like. So this is what he's going to write down what he saw. Read on.
Revelation chapter 1 verse 14.
No, 2.
Verse 2. Who bear record of the word of God and of the testimony of Jesus Christ.
Right, because he was on the island of Patmos, right? So he bore record. So he's writing down what he saw. All right, now jump down.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Who got woolly hair on this planet? Simple question. We do, right? So the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American. Don't be confused. Don't be fooled that you think that they got long stringy hair. No. Back before the conquistadors came over and took this land from the Aztecs and the Mayans, which is the so-called Hispanic race, they descend from them. Montezuma was dark as you, bro, with woolly hair just like us with hair on our head. You didn't know that, did you? All of the Aztec Empire, everybody was dark as us. All of the Native American Indians from Canada all the way down through the U.S. was dark skinned,
Right.
woolly hair.
Right.
This is your heritage. Read on.
His head and his hairs were white like wool,
Read.
as white as snow.
White as snow. Read.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass.
Right. So we just read that, right? Of these two images that you see right here, which one does that mostly fit? The one over there, right? So now you see why we have this image out here according to what the Bible describes us. Who gave us this right here? The white people. When did these white people, big bro? Hold on real fast. Do one more thing. Hold on. So who brought us over here and did all that to us? Again, white folks. Again, all of this is coming straight out of the Bible. Now, the biggest thing that I wanted you to know was, now that you know that Christ was a black man, he was from the tribe of Judah, Deuteronomy 28:15. This is how and why we out here preaching this word. We out here to show you that you are an Israelite because you subscribe to black or African American, or whenever you filling out an application or anything type of sort for the government, they require that type of description, right? Just so they can know that you still sleep and you don't know that you're an Israelite because your forefathers and foremothers were in this book. They want to make sure you sleep. So now watch this. This is how they do that. We're going to read these curses that are in the Bible that identifies us. Everything that happened right here and the people that gave you this image, we as black people are quickly to push this Bible away because we say the white man wrote it, right? Would the white man leave that in there, that Christ was a black man? He wouldn't want that in there, right? Because he gave you that image. You see the contradiction that we as black folks, we fall to anything. They took something out of the Bible. They took this out. What you don't understand is they removed the Apocrypha. They removed this right here. This, inside of this, between the old and new, is the original 1611 King James Version Bible. Right. King James had authorized. When you go to church, do your pastor have that in the middle of his Bible? Or does he constantly stay in the New Testament? All praise it. So here's what we're trying to show you. Verse 15, Deuteronomy 28 and 15. These curses identify who we are in the Bible. And that's how we know that this is our heritage. Again, understand the words that I'm using. DNA, heritage. You come from someone, right? Ancestry.com, bro, that's a lie. You can't find out who you from. You're going to bear witness to these curses is how you're going to know that you are the people of this book. Listen to this real fast.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Hearken means to hear. It's the short. Hear is the short word of hearken. He said, if you will not hear, read.
To observe to do all his commandments.
He says, hear and do all of his commandments, right? You only thought it was 10 commandments, right? You only know it to be 10 commandments, right? If I show you something, would you believe it? That there's more than 10 commandments? If I show you something, would you believe it? Because again, the scholars, the same people who gave you this image, they deceived the whole world. Hand me that book right there, officer, real fast. Let me show you something. This is out of their book. This is a world book encyclopedia. This is what they put for their children to learn over the ages. Watch this. Watch what they have in their books. Now, mind you, I'm in the education field, and this is what they were trying to destroy. They destroyed all of these books. Watch this, bro. Watch this. Read that right there. Watch how many commandments they telling their kids, the Jewish people. Listen how many they telling their kids just to make sure we got to keep these niggas in sin just so they don't know who they are and come back to their God. Because when you read the Old Testament in Joshua, God fought for the Israelites, right? Anybody that came up, come on up, sis. Anybody that came against them, he destroyed them. Watch how many commandments they put for their kids for you to understand.
Bring it out,
Read that. The New Book of Knowledge, page 118. These are some of the 613 commandments.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
These are some of the 613 commandments.
You hear what they passing down so their kids can know? Do your kids know it's 613 commandments? Have your pastors told you that it was 613 commandments? And this is in the white man's book. This is the scholar's book. This comes out of DISD. They destroying a lot of knowledge that we're so blind to understand that we are the people of this Bible. And for all your life, how old are y'all, bro? How old are you? 52. How old are you? 53 years of your life. Every pastor you've gone to, they're either unlearned, don't know the Bible, and don't understand what they're reading. It's not until now that the Most High said in the last days, he's going to pour the Spirit upon his prophets to come back out here and start teaching the word, just as the apostles did when they walked the earth. When Christ sent the 70 out, this is what they were teaching. 613 commandments. Ephesus and all the churches, they were in sin, and Paul was going to correct them. Hey, no, we're not going to do it like that. We're going to follow this Bible. Paul said in the disciples, in Acts 5:29, we are to obey God rather than man.
Bring it out.
That's what the Bible said. So if your pastors ain't teaching you these commandments, you in the midst of sin.
Bring it out.
But you got to know what sin is. I was finna show you the curses that came upon us because like we just said, bro, we agree that in the Old Testament, whenever we wasn't in the midst of sin, whatever book you read, from Genesis all the way up, whenever Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, were in the midst of sin, God didn't fight for us. He allowed other nations to come over here and take us into captivity. How do you think millions, 600, 500 some million people, 200 million died on the trip just from the west banks of Africa over here? Did you know the sea was filled with so many bodies that could be like a land bridge from Africa to this continent? Did you know that? Why in the hell are we concerned about 6 million people from the people that gave you this image?
Right.
The Jewish people, the Holocaust. What kind of sense is that? First thing they'll throw out is, you anti-Semitic, you talking about us. You a dang about that? Bro, you lost 200 million. That ain't even counting the people that died when we went through slavery.
Right.
You understand the passage that we're talking about right here? How can you allow that, but we walk around don't want to realize that this is the truth. This is the truth.
Right.
Someone else can walk over here, hey bro, we the truth. We Pan-African. Where you get that from? We just read Deuteronomy 28:15. This was prophesied thousands of years ago. We won't fall to the book, but we'll fall to, we the people on the pyramids. We are the people in slavery, but we not Pharaoh. Common sense. Moses went up the mountain and talked to God. What did God tell Moses to go tell Pharaoh? Exodus 3:11. Watch this, Exodus 3:10. Watch this. Watch what God told Moses. Watch what God told Moses to go tell Pharaoh. And again, we think we are the people that's sitting in the chairs because we just want to identify ourselves as being black. This is not about black. We are not just out here because we're talking about black power. No, we're greater than that.
Right.
That's black power is a man created because we wanted to show some type of unity.
Right.
That's the only thing you can get out of that power, being unified and being black and all being together. That's the way God created us, to be separate from the other nations. But he made you greater than all the other people on this earth.
That's right.
It's not about a black and white thing. Listen to this. Listen to what God told Moses to go do.
Exodus chapter 3 and verse 10. Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh.
Unto who?
Unto Pharaoh.
This is God telling Moses to go do something now, read.
That thou mayest bring forth my people.
Wait a minute, who?
My people.
The 12 tribes of Israel, my people. That's possessive, right? Those your flip-flops, right? That's your phone, right? Is he talking about the white man? Listen to this. You can answer that question at the end of this verse. Read.
That thou mayest bring forth my people.
Who is that?
The children of Israel.
Did you hear that, bro? God said, my people, the children of Israel. You understand that? Now, verse 15, Deuteronomy 28:15. Now, this is what happened. This is how we know, once again, now that you got the perspective that Christ was a black man and he's returning for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, now we're going to understand what it is we have to do and why we are in the conditions that we're in. Read that again from the top.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments,
All 613, read.
and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
All these what?
curses,
What?
curses,
You hear that? Curses. Is curse a good thing or a bad thing? Read.
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right. So they came upon us. Slavery is what happened. Like we said, God wasn't finna fight for us. He uses the white man as a whipping stick. Psalm 17:13. He used the white man, the Japanese, the Chinese man, the Russian man. He used them as a whipping stick to whip our butt, just so we'll understand and get back in line. But if we don't, guess what's gonna keep happening? Somebody like Amber Gallagher gonna walk in on another man's apartment while you sitting on your couch eating ice cream, and she gonna want to get parole in 2 years. What kind of mess is that? Listen to this while y'all walking on, bro.
Verse 16.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
You hear that, bro? That's one of the curses. We cursed in every city we go to. The so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're going to continue to get a neck in our throat until we die, live on TV. Until we wake up and realize that we're the greatest people on this earth.
Bring it up.
We don't know that because we still being very simple.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.